Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Welcome to yet again another insightful and inspiring edition of Inspirational Africans on Muslim Television Ahmadiyya. As usual, today we have a great personality to talk to, a man who has left a great legacy and has influenced humanity greatly with his intellectual endeavors. Let's find out who our personality for today is.
Featuring today on Inspirational Africans is one of Africa's and world-renowned scientists with specialty in mathematics, nuclear physics, and informatics, and he is Professor Francis Allotey. Born in 1932 at Sorbonne with the interest of becoming one of the world's famous scientists, Professor Allotey was an outstanding student who had the privilege of being the first to be enrolled as a pioneering student of the Ghana National College School at Cape Coast and later proceeded to Great Britain for further studies. He returned in 1960 to Ghana and became a lecturer at the Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology and subsequently became the founder and first director of the Computer Center, as he was the first to introduce computer education in Ghana and finally became the Pro-Vice Chancellor of the university in 1978. He became a world authority and an instant fame with his work on soft X-ray spectroscopy, which established the principle widely known as the Allotey formalism, for which he received the Prince Philip Gold Medal Award in 1973. As a world-renowned scientist, Professor Francis Allotey has held many positions as the chairman of the Ghana Atomic Energy Commission, chairman, Council for Scientific and Industrial Research, chairman of the Management Board, Soil Research Institute, chairman, Ghana Technical Committee on Nuclear Energy, vice president, Ghana Academy of Arts and Sciences, president, Ghana Institute of Physics, national vice president, Ghana Science Association, president, Mathematical Association of Ghana, vice chairman of the Science and Technology Sector, National Development Commission consultant, National Committee of Curriculum Development, founder and national coordinator, Ghana Energy Research Group, president, Ghana Institute of Physics, and member, National Energy Commission, just to mention a few. He has been a consultant to several international institutions, including United Nations Organization, United Nations Educational, Scientific and Cultural Organization, UNESCO, International Atomic Energy Agency, Intergovernmental Bureau for Information, and United Nations Industrial and Development Organization. He has also visited many nuclear installations in Russia, Poland, East Germany, Iraq, USA, India, West Germany, United Kingdom, Sweden, Yugoslavia, etc., etc. He is currently the founder and president of the African Institute of Mathematical Sciences in Ghana, a center of excellence to train African students. Please stay tuned and be inspired.
Welcome back. Professor Francis Allotey, welcome to the program.
Thank you very much.
It's a great privilege to have you with us today, and thank you very much for honoring our request for an interview.
It's also a pleasure to participate in this series of documentary about people.
Thank you very much.
I'm glad that you have included me in your series.
Absolutely. Of course, we couldn't have not included you. I mean, reading through your life work, I've realized that you've achieved so much and contributed so much to humanity. I'm not sure we can cover everything. But let me ask in your own words, what would you consider as your greatest achievement?
My greatest achievement is the work I did on electron hole scatter resonance, which other people call it Allotey formalism and so forth.
Allotey formalism.
So this is what people know like that, but I will go through the years. And that is dealing with distribution of electrons in the metal, and also how emission of X-ray is emitted by the metal, and the atomic processes that take place in it for this to take place. And before that, there's been a program where it wasn't really understood how X-ray emission the process that lead to that. And the work showed that is due to some form of scattering process in the metal where electron moves to a certain level and emit radiation.
How is that knowledge that you're able to develop, how is it applied today? What do people use your findings for?
This applied to understand the process of distribution of electrons, which can be in the metal. We can use to transistors, that is, we can use to an atomic understanding of process, because it's fundamental process, because you answer a question, but once that question is answered, then we build a knowledge, and this knowledge can be applied in so many people, sometimes which I myself don't know. My point is now a well-known knowledge where people can apply.
Decide to apply that knowledge.
Because you can apply so many areas, because it's a fundamental discovery or work which can be applied. Sometimes which I myself don't know how people apply it. That is the issue. Because it's so basic principle that you use it for many areas. If you want to calculate the atomic behavior, if you want to create something in the space, so all involving electrons moving through the radiation and light, motion of emission, X-ray. All of them, yes, you can apply it.
I know that as a result of this discovery, you've been recognized across the world. You've had an opportunity to give lectures all over the world. Let's go back to you as a young boy, somewhere in Salt Pond in the 1930s and 40s. How did your passion in science ignite?
Yes, I was lucky that my father had a store, a Salt Pond, and as a young man in those days, my duty is to open the store and then clean the place before I go to school. He sold books, textbooks, some fictions and all things, and also musical instrument. As I was reading or doing my cleaning the place, then I'll be peeping through the books, reading them, and there I found names like Einstein, the way they were talking about the universe, the cosmology, some like Newton, and then there was something like some called James, genes, and so forth. So I became interested. This is how the world look like. So I also said, okay, I would like one day to be a great scientist. So and my father also sold mathematical books. But there's a book called SMN, which is very important arithmetic book, and I have to learn the book from first page to last page.
You learned it by yourself?
Myself.
While
I'm reading, when I'm looking after the store, anytime I have a small time, they'll be reading them. So it make it easier for me. So I'll say that I got the inspiration from the books I read from my father's store. And then that inspired me, and the great minds talking about the universe.
So that's like the beginning of
the universe.
Then
they became interested. And also the mathematics also in the store also. I like calculating because I was selling books and so forth.
But were you going to school at this time? Because I read that you actually told your father to enroll you in school at a very young age.
Yes.
So which came first? Did you request for the enrollment, or after you reading about how did you know?
No, I would say that I wanted, when I found the books, I just told my father I want to go to school and learn more.
But how were you able to read the books? I mean, did you have some elementary education before you started?
No, I was just fascinated because the pictures, then reading about it. Okay. So that makes me, and my teachers too, were also very good, at least mathematics teachers.
So you were in school good. Then, while still working with
school then, because that's as those days, before I go, I leave home about 6, go to my father's store, clean and lay the books, and then go to school. And as I was laying it, and I was getting excited, reading a book. In fact, there was one book called Sun Leaves the Veil by BBC. They wrote it during the World War. And that is a form of a popular science book. So I became interested, and so I also would like to be a scientist and also able to contribute to this. And so I told my father about it, and my father was very understanding. In fact, it was so anytime, sometimes you know that I may be taking some risk, but it didn't discourage me. Other people will say, but he didn't encourage me. Anything I want to do, and I said, oh, fine, that's a good idea. So I became very much interested. Then after, and I was then in elementary school, when I heard that Nkrumah is opening Ghana National College for those students who were dismissed in 1948 demonstration.
There was a demonstration against the incarceration of the Big Six.
By the British. And so the teachers, the leaders were sacked, including the teachers. And Nkrumah thought that to safeguard the education, he will open a school for them so that they can finish their course. And the school was open at Cape Coast, yes, some place called MacArthur Hill. And the teachers were 4. Mr. Kane, Kwesi Planch, Nelson, and Sekefio. So this was and then the students were mainly about 20 or so, from Adesada, from St. Augustine, from France. But I was then at elementary school. But I just told my father that I also want to go and join the school.
What was it about the school that instantly fascinated you? You could have finished elementary, go to France.
Yes, fine. Those days you are definitely right. I could have gone to, my father wanted me to go to St. Augustine at that time. But somehow I became fascinated. And then the idea of the Nkrumah, the school Dr. Nkrumah was then living in Saltpond. Then the people doing Nkrumah, during the time, his office was...
That's when he was secretary of the UGC.
His office was Saltpond. So people talk about him and so forth. So I decided to go to Cape Coast and find where the new school is.
So I mean, let me just, not to take you back, this was around the time that there was the independence movement.
Independence movement was coming.
As a young man, what was the feeling like in Gold Coast as at then?
Oh, it was, the youth were very happy, excited about fighting for independence. There I could see Dankwa coming, because the young used to meet, in fact, they meet in the street where the office is. It's not far from my house, but 2 minutes away.
That's the UGCC office?
By the UGC office. In fact, the street is not be named after me. Because Prof. Allotey Street. So I could see the excitement of this Dankwa coming, Park Grand coming. I mean, big people coming, and then Nkrumah himself coming with his show. But so that really motivated me that I also have to be a great man, and I have to go through the field of science. And interesting thing also at that time was it was called Joint Provincial Council. All the chiefs in those days used to meet also in Saltpond. So with this come, so all this coming excited my imagination. And the second time they come, I would like to go and follow them and see what we're doing. So I became interested. I also would like to be a big person, able to contribute to knowledge.
So you went to Ghana National College.
So I went. So when, as you said, I went to Ghana National College, and that when I went there, they were having a meeting. 4 of the teachers were having a meeting. So I introduced myself that I'm from Sorpon. I've heard that Francis Sorpon. I've heard that Nkrumah formed the school for those people, and I went to join.
Okay.
Then they were surprised.
Okay.
But the school was not meant for elementary school people. It was meant for those secondary school people who were dismissed. So only the following year they would take first year students.
So they didn't have first year students?
No first year student. But I insisted that I still would like to. But I didn't even tell my father at that time that this is what I've done.
So you were the only one person?
Only one person. So it's very interesting.
Okay.
Only one person. Sometimes I would join some class.
Okay. The
advanced class. I remember. And I remember there was a case where one of the older students beat me because I got more marks than him.
Oh, wow.
There was somebody who has done maths 4 years at school, and for me to me. So he came and then beat me, said that the teacher was doing partial to me. Teacher helped me. The teacher called me a secretary. He became later become permanent. So they accepted that. So they eventually they take me. One of the mates. Then I joined the following year. Then the team became number. For the first year, I would just have a class for myself. Occasionally, I joined the other classes. It's something like in the other maths, or can join the other classes, or the Fante, or can do English. But otherwise, they would be on their own. They were patient, which I'm really happy. I don't think this will happen nowadays. Nowadays, that people will just have the patience that for you alone to come.
Yeah.
Particularly for, but they were the school was which really I find it.
Okay. So let's advance the story. So from Ghana National College, you completed Ghana National.
Yes.
And I hear you established your own secondary school.
Yes.
At age 19.
Before at the age of 19, before I went to Britain, I was always anxious to do something.
Okay.
So I decided to call and Scott Fante Confederation School. And at the age of, I didn't know what I took, and then they took me to court.
But where did you have the resources? I mean, where was the school located?
Oh, the school is still there. Okay. No, the building is still there.
Okay.
Maybe one day I have to take the picture. The school is still there. The building is there.
So, like, how did you get the building at that age? Was it like a relative who decided to give you?
Pardon? At the age of 19, but I don't know how many. Maybe I went and talked to the owner that we want to rent it.
And they gave it to you?
They gave it to me, and then we rented. I rented it. I was able to get some senior people, more than 10 or 15 years older than the school. Employed them.
Oh, wow. So at the age of 19, you established your own secondary school. Yes. Was it a registered, accredited secondary school?
Yes, no, there people were coming.
Okay.
There are some of them who became the former headmaster of Ghana National, called Abienu.
Okay.
There's somebody who became a Bank of Ghana manager, a chief manager, called the Gozo.
So it wasn't like some terrible education. It was actually a good
school. No, it was a school.
No,
some people, in fact, the last chairman or treasurer of Le Mans CPP.
Okay.
Was a student.
Oh, okay.
He was a student of mine. I mean, much older than me. He was a student. So even I remember an incident when that time that Ofori was giving Le Mans trouble.
Okay.
Because they were making agitation. So I took Ofori to school and apologize to Le Mans for troubling him about this treasure. And then he went and then went to the castle. I took him there and went to apologize that he was giving him trouble and so forth. Then within a week or so, then the coup came in.
So after so you finished Ghana National, you established your own secondary school.
Yes.
Then you travel out of the country.
Yes, because this one was just out of the way. Because I always don't like to be idle. I will have to do something. So this on the way later I was going, I have elder brother, so you could hand it over. And somehow he didn't have, and I did the school eventually, the government then took over, and that time was no school, so this one now became Fansima.
Okay.
Because that time there was no Fansima. In fact, this was only school in South Point area. This is the school for me. But when they came and my brother could not manage it well, government took over, and then that time when I go to Britain, and then continue my
so you continue your A-level
A-level there, and I was doing also my first degree. But this another program also came. At the first degree, I didn't finish it also.
Yes.
And I just went.
You jumped from your first degree
I
to
didn't
your
finish it even.
Yeah, you didn't finish your first. You enrolled for your first degree, but you didn't complete.
You complete it. I said I went to the.
But you jumped straight to your master's.
I went to the Pure College, the head of my department, that I've done enough mathematics, so I don't want to waste my time completing. So he got some professors from to come and join him, and they gave him test exam for Blackboard. Go to Blackboard to solve some problems. You know that I solved those programs was okay. You can be admitted to do the master's with that PhD, with that first degree.
Which had happened in the university before. Which had never happened in the
university. What happened before.
Okay.
So the better person, I don't know how they were able to, how at that time I was able to convince them that, but they took me the first time without anything.
Wow.
So when I finished the master's, I passed very well. In fact, the first pass, you had to do the test on the board. They will go to Blackboard. When I went there too, I have gone to the evidence. I have all the I worked about 10 years past questions.
Okay. Of the school.
Of the university in London.
Okay.
Or I've answered all the 10 past years questions.
Okay.
So when I went there, I went with it.
Okay.
With this look, Professor. This is the work I've done. I've solved all this program. From this thing, and this is it. And so you look at it, then we went to a Blackboard.
Wow.
So they accepted me.
Wow. So
I finished it. When I finished, then they brought a Nkrumah heard about me.
Of course.
Then the professor there, so there's a very Ghanaian, very clever, do this thing. Some Nkrumah that took social and that, they brought me to Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology.
So let me just add that. I mean, I think that you were incredibly proactive. Yes. You were incredibly confident.
Yes,
at
yes.
That age,
yes.
What inspired such confidence? You know, like a student who is doing his first degree just walks up to his professor, "I'm tired. I think I'm beyond the stage. Take me into the masters."
I don't know. When I look at it, myself, I got a
and this was around what year? This was around what year?
About 20 years or so.
Yes. So this was in the 50s.
Yes, about 23.
This was, I mean, you were 23.
Yes.
This was the 1950s.
Yes.
Where, I mean, there was still considerable discrimination against
of course,
Africans.
in Britain. In fact, the man asked me, where are you from? I'm from Ghana. He asked me, what do you want to do? Because the professor called Professor Jones.
Okay.
And I said, I want to be a famous scientist.
Okay.
This I told him. And I said, but if you don't get your first degree, you may not get a job to do.
Okay.
Naturally, I'm not interested in jobs. What I want to do to contribute to science.
Okay.
Maybe that answer may be impressed that to do research. So he took me and then with the group tour and then joined the class. But I passed very, very well. And when I passed well, then they took me to Ghana for about 2 years to teach.
So you came to Nkrumah had established a
Yes, of Science and Technology. Then after then 2 years, I went for Princeton where I did my PhD. So and also do 3.5 years.
The PhD.
So yes.
So at what moment in that educational cycle did your great discovery come about? Was it when you were in University of when you were in the US? Or
yes, when I was in US.
Okay.
At
Princeton.
Yes, Princeton.
Okay.
I started having the idea about what called many-body programs.
Okay.
There's something called many-body programs where the idea came actually in Britain at Imperial College.
Okay.
But then it did not crystallize until I went to Imperial College. I went to Princeton.
Okay.
Then the thing I worked more on that, and then the concept.
So the concept, you wrote it out in a thesis form? Was it like a
yes,
thesis?
the thesis form, and it was published.
So after you had submitted your thesis to your professors for appraisal, what was their reaction?
Oh, they were very happy. In fact, it was published, it was very good thing. And then there are a lot of conferences was held on it. In fact, there was one book or two where devoted to my work in I'm sure you heard about it. One day I was
a star in the academic realm.
So one day I also said I was even attending a conference, and we were dealing with my work. And they didn't know that I'm the one there. So when they got to know, they asked them that this man was, are you Professor? They thought I was an American who did that work.
Yeah, they were surprised that.
They were surprised that because there's a
And this was what year in Princeton? Around what year?
Well, with Princeton in 1962.
This was in the 60s. Yes. So it was in the 60s that you came up
with
the Allotey formalism. Okay, wow, that's incredible. So here you are, a young Ghanaian scientist. You've come out with this great formula that the scientific world has, embraced. How was the feeling for you, like around that time, and when you were riding high on your academic laurels?
I traveled a lot.
Okay.
Now I travel a lot everywhere, conferences, going there.
How many countries have you been to?
Pardon?
Can you count the number of countries you've been to?
I've been to almost all the continents.
Wow.
I've been to Australia. If you have organized a workshop, a conference in Australia. I've been to America. I've been to Brazil. I've been to Argentina.
I'm here too numerous.
All for Europe, I would say that about 3/4 of countries in Europe. I've been there, from Germany. In fact, Germany to Italy. In fact, I'm still a professor in Italy. I've been to Britain. I've been to Paris, to Marseille.
So you're now a great.
So I've been so many countries. Only few countries I've never been to. Sweden, in fact, I'm still also a professor in Sweden.
So you're going around the world as at that time. So you came back to Ghana?
Yes, I decided to come back. But I was given opportunity. I don't even to work in the Bell Lab or the Prince, but I thought it's better to come to Ghana, and I don't regret it at all.
Yeah, because you could have continued your residency out of the world, made a lot more money.
But I thought they need me more in Ghana and Africa.
So around what year did you come back to Ghana to probably?
66.
Just around the time of the coup d'etat. Did you come before?
Yes, from Nkrumah. The Nkrumah coup was February.
Yeah, February 66.
And I came in 60s. I came in August.
When you heard about the Nkrumah's coup d'etat, what was your reaction? There was a man who had invited you to come and teach at Kwame Nkrumah University.
Yeah, it was shocked. In fact, what my professor told me at that time, that before you go Ghana, the school will be, the name Kwame Nkrumah University will not be there. And it's true. Before I reached Ghana, the university the name has been changed to drop Kwame Nkrumah's name. So it was really disappointing. And then a person who also was one of my mentors, called Professor Bafo, Dr. Bafo, he was also removed, and there was one dean, Israeli professor, very, very good. Also, like, in fact, almost all the top white people, when they come, they seem to know, they really like my work because they know, and because a very top Israeli professor, he was a professor of engineering and maths, and then he became also very friendly with me, and because of my work. So most of the people come in contact with me, and because of the work I've been, they always become close with me. I was a married student, and the teachers and so forth even treated my wife as one of the professor or the teacher's wife. They don't treat me as a student wife. So this type of university professors.
So that's when you had come back in the
No, they've been in Princeton.
In Princeton.
When I was there, my wife was being treated. When the professors' wives are doing something, my wife is invited to be part of them.
Yeah, I was
they were
going
treated.
to eventually ask about your family life and all.
So very good.
So you came back in the 66. Since then, you've been pretty much based in Ghana.
But travel
about
2 or 3. I just returned from Europe 2 weeks ago. They'll be going to Taiwan real soon.
So you've been part of a lot of international organizations in the UN to advise on nuclear science.
In
Ghana here, you have helped a lot with atomic energy.
Yes.
And so for you and for all the contributions that, I mean, you've seen the world evolve,
yes,
you know, in your field for years. Now we are in the computer technology. Where do you think science is going from here in terms of your field, atomic energy?
Science is moving very fast. For there is so much, when I started, this internet wasn't there.
Absolutely.
I remember when for another thing I did, people don't understand it.
Yeah.
I always like doing things.
Okay.
When I see a problem, I don't complain.
Mm-hmm.
I find solution. When I came from Princeton, I found that there was no course in the computer in the university.
Yeah.
University don't give. Computer was not it wasn't a course taught at the university.
Yeah.
Wasn't taught at the university. It wasn't known. Just you go and buy IBM machine, and the IBM people will give you 1 or 2 weeks training course, and that was the end. But I said, no, this is wrong. Let us prepare a proper
computer science
program. First, I called data the certificate, then a diploma, and then BSc. So this is how the computer science education started. In fact, in sub-Saharan Africa, there was I was the first to establish one in tech, which is the first and all of West sub-Saharan Africa.
Wow.
We also started. We all told us. So anytime I find something need, I don't want to be told. I myself find my way.
Absolutely.
And then get it done.
So, Prof, let me just talk about your family life. You're married with children?
Yes.
Yes.
And yes, I have 4 children, 2 girls and 2 boys.
Okay, evenly distributed.
Yes, thank you.
Have any of them taken an interest to your field?
No. They're all accountancy.
Okay.
Then
well, that's maths.
Maths, accountancy, and computer. Also the same maths.
Yeah.
Then another law, another one is the 2 A's and 2 finance and this.
Okay. So at least the Allotey gene is still
thank you.
Absolutely. Yeah. Well, Prof, it's wonderful. So I just want to ask you, in all of this experience, what role has faith played in your life over the years?
Yes, I think when I look at it, I myself get frightened how I was able to do what I'm able to do. Because sometimes when how can I go to a professor and tell him that I don't want to, from Africa, go to Imperial College, one of the top university in Britain, they tell the professor that I don't want to go and do. I found, so how was there that I've done enough that I want to do PhD, a master without this. I find it very strange. Why also I went to Ghana National to find the teacher that, I haven't finished my common entrance, but still, you should take me. And I don't know how, when I look at it, I don't understand how, so it could be faith, because I don't know how I could do such a thing. And the people too will be obliged, because I don't see how, the one professor in Britain, for example, very famous one, and how can somebody from Africa just walk to him with a sheet of papers showing that I want to come and do masters.
I know that you also have a very good relationship with one of the revered scientists within the Ahmadi community, Professor Abdul Salam, the very decorated physicist. Can you tell us a bit more about that relationship?
Professor Salam was he was my teacher at Imperial College. In fact, he taught me much of the atomic physics and then and mathematics at Imperial College. And he was then the head of applied mathematics section. Then when apparently his uncle was one of the early missionary in Ghana. So he became very much interested in me. So when I left that at Imperial College, when I went to Princeton and finished, then later he invited me, that 1967, that he has founded an institute in Trieste, Italy. And he wanted me to be a professor there. And I've been professor in that institute up to now.
Oh, wow.
I'm just from the, even a member office of the Enroll board, or the board of trustees, where I'm just from there about 2 weeks ago. So became now a very good mentor, and then admirer, teacher. He became more or less like a friend. Now became, though much older than me, he became my friend, and then.
Well, I'm sure that Professor
pardon?
I say I'm sure he's very proud of that.
Yes, we're very proud of him. In fact, he was among his close there. So I mean, in fact, I've been going there for the past 50 years.
Wow.
Without break.
Wow.
Without break. Well, every day I go 2 or 3 times a year to go and lecture there and so forth. Wow. The center. In fact, only last week, 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks, 3 months ago, I was in Singapore. They made a memorial thing about him. A memorial for his 90th birthday. So I was invited. I was only African invited there to go and talk about him as a teacher, as a friend, and this thing. And so I know him, his family, his mother, and then he also trusted me.
Absolutely.
Through him, you have got a lot of mathematicians in Ghana, physicists, and so forth. So Salam is really a very good.
I'm sure.
I'll give you maybe also a copy. If I wrote something about him about 18 pages on his work, about his work. So he's been very, very great, and so anytime I talk about Salam, now I'm more like his representative in Ghana for in terms of science. He used me to do science in Africa. So among the science people, his idea of getting science over the world, I'm the one, the pillar for the Africa one. So I'm the one he sent to do everything that he wants any African scientist to represent him. I'm the one that goes and so forth. I know the family, the wife. The good thing about Salam is my late wife. The wife also was inviting my wife to their house every Friday. After Friday prayers, he take my wife for tea and so forth. So I became a very good friend of Salam.
The Ahmadi community is also very proud of
so
how he has held up his legacy.
So and also another thing that I have an uncle, my father uncle, who also was one of the early Ahmadiyya people in Cape Coast, Abura area. Abura, who founded it in the early 1930s or so. It's called the Haruna Crucifixion. So I have some some connection there. So I have some Ahmadiyya in their family.
Prof, at the beginning of this program, I said that this program is not enough to talk about all the things you've done. I was reading through all the organizations that you belong to, all the contributions, and I was asking myself, how is it possible for one man in his lifetime to play so many parts and give so much back to humanity? It's a wonderful privilege to have spoken to you. And we hope that the youth can learn from your story and be inspired by your story to also serve humanity.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Prof. And God richly bless you and give you good health.
Thank you very much.
And may your work continue to be positive for humanity. Well, viewers, that has been the very inspiring interview. I wish we could have gone on and on, but time is not on our side. We thank Professor Allotey, the great scientist who has given us his time. We hope you have learned something from his story, and we thank him and God richly bless him. Thank you very much for joining us on Inspirational Africans on Muslim Television, Ahmadiyya. Catch you next week for another interesting edition.